welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. I hope you guys are well and that you all are safe. Before we get into this video, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. Also turn on your post notifications and hit that bell so whenever I upload you will get notified. So we're gonna get right into this video. By looking at the title, Don't Be Silent, I think that many of you have an idea as to what I'm going to speak about today. Honestly, I had something else planned for this week's video, but I felt the need to do this one instead. And the reason that I decided to do this video is, as a people, honestly, we've been silent for too long. We've been silent about the issue of racism for too long, like honestly for way too long. And with everything going on right now, and with I'm pretty sure many of you have seen the news. If you don't watch the news and you have Instagram or you have Facebook, you have social media, I'm pretty sure that you have seen what has been taking place in America surrounding the death of George Floyd. And if you still choose to be silent after seeing everything that has been going on, then I don't know. I have no words. I truly have no words. So to get through this video, I had some of you ask me different questions pertaining to the issue, pertaining to what's going on right now in America. And honestly, it's not just an American issue. It's something that is going on all over the world. It is something that is being experienced all over the world. If you watch the news or you check social media, you will see that protests and so on are not only happening in America, but they are happening in Africa, they're happening in France, in the UK, I think even in Canada, like literally all parts of the world, there are protests happening, because it's not just an American issue or just a Canadian issue, it's a worldwide issue. Therefore, it needs to be talked about. Therefore, it needs to be addressed. Therefore, we should no longer sit and just scroll idly through social media or just flick through different channels and see it happening on TV, see it happening, on the news, see it happening in our everyday lives, and sit silently. Like, there is no reason we should still remain silent in 2020 about an issue that has been going on for years. So, in order to help me get through this video and just discuss some things, I had some people ask me some questions, so I'm just going to answer a few of them, a few that stood out to me and a few that are in line with certain points that I had for this video. So the first question that I want to address is, how should the church respond to this? Honestly, I feel like as the church we should be at the forefront of those speaking out right now, those seeking justice, of those wanting to see change. I feel like as the church we should be at the forefront, because we are supposed to be representatives of Christ, right? Therefore, our main goal, our main thing should be to demonstrate Christ's love to others. Now, how can I demonstrate Christ's love if I just sit and scroll through social media and say, oh, I'll just pray for them, man, and continue along my day? No, listen, there is nothing wrong with praying for the issue. Honestly, that's the first thing that we should do. Pray, go to God and bring the situation before God. But something that we should include in our prayers is, Father, show me practical ways that I can demonstrate your love. Show me practical ways that I can help to bring change in this world. Like, that is what we should be praying for, I believe, as a believer. I encourage, all the pastors, all the bishops, the reverends, priests, spiritual leaders, spiritual influencers, speak up. Like, honestly, going through social media, I've been seeing quite a bit of, um, Christian artists and some pastors and so on have been speaking up, and I applaud you for that. But I encourage the rest who are just sitting and just watching what is going on to speak up. Like, have discussions at your church, like at small groups, little Bible study sessions or something. Have discussions about the issue of racism. Find out like what your members are thinking. Find out how your members are feeling with everything going on, especially us as black people. Admonish, the black churches and so on, since right now we are the ones feeling the backlash at the moment. So I'm going to address us. Like, pastors, reach out to your members and find out how they are feeling, how they are coping, how they are dealing with this thing. Like, honestly, we shouldn't be silent. We should honestly not be silent. In Proverbs 31 it says, open your mouth for the mute, for the rights of all who are destitute. Open your mouth, judge righteously, defend the rights of the poor and the needy. Like, right now, our goal should be advocating for those who can't help themselves, for those who don't know how to speak, who don't know what to say. Like, we should try our best to be their mouthpiece, try our best to help them in whatever way that we possibly can. Church, let's not be silent. Let's not just sit there and do nothing. If you can sign a petition, sign a petition. If you can donate online, go ahead and donate online. Let's be a voice for the voiceless. Let's try our best to demonstrate God's love. Like, honestly, I really don't know what else to say other than, church, we are the ones who should be vocal right now. We should not be silent. We should not watch what is going on and not say anything. If your heart feels burdened and your heart is heavy for what is going on, open up your mouth and speak. Say something. The next question is, have you experienced racism or prejudice or stereotypical judgments? Well, honestly, I grew up in the Caribbean, and living in the Caribbean, racism is not something that I was really introduced to, because everybody looked like me. We all have the same skin tone pretty much. I mean, they have a couple light skinned people and people who are lighter than I am, but generally we all look the same. It was only when I moved to Florida and I started going to school in Lakeland. I remember during winter time, it doesn't snow in Florida, but it gets really cold. Like, it gets really cold. And I would go to the gas station or go to the grocery store with friends, and I would have my hoodie on. Like, a hoodie. I have my hoodie over my head and, my hands in my pocket. And I remember the first time that I went out like that, and I stopped and I was like, wait, Shanfi, take your hood off. Like, the hood part of the hoodie, like, take your hood off and remove your hands from your pocket, because you don't want to be misidentified. You don't want to look like you're up to something. And it was in that moment I was like, why do we have to live like this? Why do I have to have my head exposed in the cold because I'm afraid that a white person or somebody would see me and feel threatened because I have a hood over my head or my hands in my pockets? Why do we have to live like that? So that is where I would say I really started taking the whole issue of racism seriously. That's where I realized that you're no longer in the Caribbean, and now you are basically a target. I have had those moments where you walk into places and they stare at you like, who are you? Why are you here? You look like you're out of place. You look like you don't belong here. You shouldn't be here. I have had those looks. And honestly, it's not a nice feeling. It's really, really not a nice feeling. Um, do you have any self-care tips? Honestly, self-care tips that would help to deal with what's going on right now. The first thing I would say is limit your time on social media and just watching the news and everything. Honestly, probably take some time out and say, you know what, for the next 2 days or for the next 24 hours, I'm not going to watch the news, or I'm not going to be on my phone. Watch a series, read a good book, go outside, like do something other than sitting down and watching what is happening on the news right now. For those of you who like to be informed and like to stay informed, and you would not be able to last the whole day not watching the news or not scrolling through social media, then dedicate at least an hour or 2 hours where you don't do it. If you can't do 24 hours, if you can't do a week or so on, try your best to take some time where you are not watching what is going on, because honestly, like, just it's tough. It's tough watching what is happening on the news. Like, it is heartbreaking, it is stressful, it is mentally draining, especially dealing with other things. You may have other things going on in your life, and this is just something else that is adding to it. So try to limit screen time, try to limit just how much of the news that you take in. Most importantly, spend some time with God. Spend some time in devotion. That time that I'm saying to take away from the TV and away from social media, use that time to hear what God is trying to say to you in this moment. Try to drown out all the excess noise, because honestly, we can get so engrossed in a situation and get so engrossed in what is going on around us, in the noise, that we miss what God is trying to say to us in the moment. And I feel right now God is trying to say a lot. Like, the Holy Spirit is really trying to speak, He's really trying to move, but we are so engrossed in everything else that we are not taking time to listen to Him. So take some time to talk to God, to allow God to talk to you. And yeah, some other self-care tips, I think I mentioned that, read a book, go outside, love on your family, love on the people who look like you. Like, right now, I'm just going to say it as it is, like, black people, we are the one feeling the blunt of the blow right now. We are the ones being oppressed. Some people might think otherwise, but we are the ones feeling it right now. So reach out to your fellow black friends, reach out to the people who look like you, and just love on them, love on each other, encourage each other during this trying time. Like, love on each other. And honestly, just, no one knows you like you know you. So you know what brings peace of mind, you know what makes you happy, you know what brings you joy, you know what puts you in a happy place. So try to find those things and relax your mind, listen to some music, and yeah. So I'm just going to stop here right now. There are more questions, but honestly, what is happening right now, it's really tough to deal with, it's tough to understand, it's tough to cope with, and honestly, there are no words to really describe how it feels to be oppressed, or how it feels to be hated, how it feels to walk around and have people look at you and just decide that you don't belong, or just decide that you don't matter. it hurts. And I cannot begin to imagine what the families and the friends of all those who who have been killed by the police, who have been, oppressed and so on. Like, I cannot begin to imagine what their families feel like, what their families are experiencing right now. I cannot begin to imagine what the immediate family and friends of George Floyd, I cannot begin to imagine what they are feeling right now, having to see that on the TV. Like, something has to be done. And whatever it is that you can do to show that you are not being silent, then do it. Repost a post that you see on Instagram. Speak out. I decided to do this video because that is how I can do my part, by speaking out against racism, speaking out against what is wrong. It is not just a black versus white issue. It is an everyone versus the issue of racism thing, right? It should be all of us against racism. It shouldn't be like us against each other. We were all created in the image and likeness of God. God did not create this world, to be divided, for us to be divided, for us to be fighting against each other. Sin came into the world and basically caused all this chaos. But peace is attainable during the chaos, right? Right now, more than ever, we need to be calling on God and just asking God to show us how we can help, how we can make a difference, how we can bring change. What can we do? Like, let's not be silent. Don't be silent. Like, be angry, be upset, and then do something. Sign a petition, donate, share a post, make a video, have discussions with your friends, with your family, express what you are feeling. But don't be silent. It's time for change. It's time for us to all come together, for us to love on each other, for us to be our brother and our sister's keeper, for us to demonstrate the love of God, for us to speak up for what is right, for us to speak up for those who can't speak up for themselves. So to those of you who have been silent, I encourage you to speak up and say something. Don't just sit back and be naive to what is going on, to what has been going on for a number of years. Don't be silent. This video is different, but I hope that it stirs up something within you and prompts you to speak up, prompts you to do something that will bring forth change, that will bring us a step closer in just seeing more love and less hate. God bless you all. I love you all. And I pray that God's peace will reign, that His joy will be our strength in this trying time. God bless you all. See you in my next video. Bye, guys.